Hello, hello, hello to all those watching this back. Hello from London. And today was the final day of MusicalCon here at the Excel Center. And yeah, had a wonderful time. And as folks start to kind of roll into the chat here, we'll kind of, do what we usually do with a kind of a question answer or just random ranting about everything. So, hey, the usuals are coming in. Welcome, guys. So it's the end of day 2 of MusicalCon here in London, and just doing a little wrap-up live, because obviously in all the get-up and the makeup and all that stuff, so I thought I would turn this on and see if you guys have any questions or want to discuss really anything. So let's go ahead and get started. So, I will take this off because it's a little bit more comfortable without it. And yeah. So came over on Tuesday night and got to spend a few days in London just kind of doing the usual stuff. Got to see the show 3 days in a row. Dean Crismell is just, that guy is amazing. So if you haven't had the opportunity to see Dean in the title role here at His Majesty's, please do. He is fantastic. So had 3 straight nights with the new cast and really just had perfect seats. Some audience issues. The first night had some guy sitting right behind me that was just hysterically laughing at the most random and inappropriate moments of the show. So that's fun. To include the final lair scene, right? So the masquerade reprise and reprise, however you say it. And Dean's sitting there, like, kneeling in front of the monkey music box doing his thing, and this guy just blurts out laughing right behind me. I'm just, gotta be kidding me. And then, of course, the second night, it's the usual people on cell phones. And then last night, all of us Fananigans folks went to see the show in cosplay. So that has apparently become kind of a tradition now at His Majesty's. And on the Saturday night of MusicalCon weekend, they kind of now just expect cosplayers to show up. So that was cool. We had a pretty good turnout of cosplayers. I'd say probably about a dozen. And most of us were in the front row. Had a few others scattered around the house. But, of course, usual great time. So it's always fun, and had several people telling me kind of in the intermission or interval, you're so great. We love what you're doing. Thanks for taking photos with us. This is in the interval. You think somebody's walking around, the cast members are walking around in the interval, just around the No. It was really cute, though. They didn't know. Really adorable. And, of course, had people stopping me after the show, coming out the stage door. That entrance, or exit, I guess, that is next to the stage door, trying to get photos with me, same thing, like, oh, you're so good tonight. I'm like, I'm thank you, but I'm not in the show. Sorry, that's Dean. He's also about a foot taller than I am, so in case you guys want to go talk to him. So it's just a good time. And that is, Saturday night, MusicalCon weekend at His Majesty's. Scrolling through Phoenix, I agree, it should be legal to punch assholes. That was very strange. I don't know if he was being a jerk about it, the guy that was laughing, or that's his nervous tick or something like that, or if he's just having the time of his life and he just had a lot of nervous energy. But it was very loud laughter, and it was very inappropriate timing. So, you know how that goes, but it kind of took me out of the show there for a hot second. So, Ghostly Tutor, yes, hello, my twin brother, another Phantom cosplayer. Hello. Speaking of Phantom cosplayers, so we had several, of course, at the convention. Some folks that I have met before and we're catching up with, and some new folks that I haven't met in person before, followers that, know me from Instagram, so that was very, very cool. Actually sat next to, on Friday night, sat next to a couple from Austria who, again, I was in plain clothes, right? And they saw me at the convention the next day in this, and they came up and said, are you a Phantom on a budget? And I said, yeah. And we got to talking. I'm like, hey, were you guys at the show last night by chance? And of course, they were. So, very small world, of course. And I continue this weird tradition of randomly meeting people at the show and sitting next to them or sitting immediately near them. It's a whole long story, but anyway, I think it's very funny. Phoenix, I do intend to do a makeup removal stream. I have done one. It was, I think, in 2023, the MusicalCon convention in 2023, I did one. I will probably do that again tonight, just because I have nothing else to do. I am going to eat dinner first and kind of chill out a little bit before I go ahead and do that. But if anybody needs to see it in the meantime, yes, there is one further back in my IG, if you want to look back. And but yeah, it's always good to demonstrate the proper removal of prosthetics because, again, a lot of makeup influencers don't do that, and they just rip things off of their face, and they know that it's wrong, and they do it anyway, and I think they just do it for the views. Drives me nuts. So yes. Long story short, please always use a proper makeup remover when you're using adhesives. So it has to be a proper adhesive remover. It can't just be you're ripping things off if you use any kind of prosthetic adhesive. It's not good, guys. All right, chat is getting lively. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Always appreciate you all tuning in. This is very, very fun. Eric Dessler, OG5. Salutations. Rest in peace, GeoCities page. Oh, wow. That's my GeoCities page from like 2005. Is that what you mean? Because that's going way back. Oh, wow. Ghost of Tutor would like to go to the con as well. Yep. I encourage everybody to go to MusicalCon. It's a little bit smaller than I remember it from 2 years ago. I think the feedback from some friends was it's a little bit smaller than even last year. So trying to get people to keep going so they keep holding it. And, you know, it's a good time. It's a wonderful way to meet people and meet up with folks that you've met maybe online, that you follow online. It's just a great community. So that's why I enjoy cons like this, is because it gives me a great reason, one, to come over from the US to London again. Never need an excuse for that, I guess. Bring all this, and most importantly, get to hang out with my friends from, you know, that I've been friends with now for several years, and to catch up with them. So it's always great. What are their ticket prices? So MusicalCon, if that's what you're referring to, their Ghostly Tutor, I forgot what they were charging later. I think the early bird price is like £65 for the weekend pass, but that was months ago. But I don't know what they were charging right before the convention. They did not sell out, though, so I know that. C. Coffin, hello. Thanks for saying hi. Tommy's here. Lizard MG's here. Yeah, Phoenix, the hotel prices are high in London, especially central London. So I stayed in Kensington the first night when I got here. And I'm currently at the hotel immediately next to the Excel Center. So this hotel is much more reasonable, but also it's in East London, not Central London. So there's that. I'm also a member of Marriott, so that helps with the hotel prices a little bit. But yeah, London's expensive. New York, all cities are just obnoxiously expensive right now. Everything's kind of just, it's not a good time to travel. So this is my big hurrah trip, and I will be probably staying home for the next several months and trying not to spend any money to financially recover from this. Yeah. Can I show my hat? Yes, I can, if you all will bear with me while I go and grab it. It's around the corner. If you're okay with that, stand by. I'll keep chatting. Finding the fedora. There it is. I'm coming. Sorry. Very sorry. I hate doing that, stepping away from the live. Yes, so this is the Phantom Fedora. I get a lot of questions about where to find one, how much are they, everything like that. And for me, I personally never had much of an issue finding fedoras, and so what I usually recommend to people if they're looking for a good Phantom fedora, use Google, use Etsy, and just look for a black wool fedora and 3-inch brim. All right, this is a wider brim. Some only come with like a 2-inch brim, which would be about that wide. Not quite wide enough because you want it to be able to cover kind of down over the mask when you put it on. And in terms of shaping it, you can steam them. All right, that's how they are given their shape to begin with. Also, if you just kind of mess with it regularly, that's how I get it to kind of flip up in the back left corner and down in the front right. So there's nothing special to this. It's just a black wool fedora. I think I bought this on Etsy. I don't recall who the vendor was. But yeah, just search black wool fedora 3-inch brim on Google. You should have lots of options that come up. They're not crazy expensive. This one I think was maybe $60 or $70, which I understand for many people that is expensive. There are some cheaper options as well. But if you're looking to save up for a decent fedora, look to spend anywhere from about $30 to maybe $80. It's pretty standard. So, yeah. What other questions do you guys have? So, what else happened this weekend? Yeah, just lots of Phantom. 2 days of convention, and I was in makeup yesterday from about 6:30 in the morning is when I started, and then got out of it somewhere around 1 a.m. It was a long day yesterday, and then in bed by about 2 a.m. Got back up this morning at 7:30 and just started this all over again. So I wasn't quite sure I was actually going to do makeup today and this whole thing, but also I went through the trouble of packing the makeup, preparing the suit, everything, and bringing it all the way over here. So I said, you gotta just do it. Just suck it up and do it. So I can sleep all day tomorrow. I'm staying here next to a couple days, so I can sleep on the back side of this and recover later, but gotta make sure I get my Phantom stuff in while I have the opportunity. So, yep. Tommy asked, personal thoughts on the show last night. I thought it was great. It was on this random side note, kind of hard for me to really see great because this contact is ready to be disposed of. It's at the end of its life, and so I just felt like I was kind of fighting the contact to see a lot. But no, I thought the show was great. I saw Lily on Thursday, and again, she was on last night. I like her a lot. Colleen was on Friday, and there's elements of Colleen's performance that I like more than Lily's and vice versa. So, but Dean, love Dean. I never really paid attention to Dean. Of course, I left right before he took over from John. And so I just kind of didn't really pay attention, but he is awesome. So anybody that has been thinking of going to the London production, maybe been on the fence about it, just go. He's phenomenal. And I don't know if he's planning on renewing and getting another contract, or if he's due to rotate out probably, next summer. But definitely get over here to see him. He's fantastic. Hello, Tex. Welcome. Hello from the other side of the Atlantic. The correct side of the Atlantic, I might add. Oh, yeah, Elizabeth. Yep. See, the 2 a.m. bedtime and up again. Oh, 4 a.m.? You got 2 hours of sleep? Holy cow. You're a rock star. I would be a zombie. I'm just barely above zombie level right now. Yeah, Dean, very impressed with him. And his final layer, I think for me, is probably the best part of his performance. And that's saying a lot about his final layer, because a lot of his performance is just excellent. But yeah, there's something about the way he kind of just throws himself on the ground to go get the veil off the floor, and he just kind of collapses, and it's just heartbreaking. And I never cry during Phantom. I don't know why. I just don't. Never have, and I didn't cry this time either, but he kind of had me thinking about it. It just was so pathetic, and it was so sad. So, really good. Excellent, excellent Phantom actor. So, definitely way up there. For those that weren't at the con, by the way, Molly had a fantastic recipe from Starlight Express. Made the finals, killed it. Very impressed with all the engineering and all the lights and the smoke and just the incredible detail on the costumes. And congratulations again, that was fantastic. What else? Or what are you guys wondering? And what do you guys think? Those that went to the show last night, it might just be Tommy that's in here, but what did you think of the show last night? It was wonderful seeing all the Phantom guys too, like all the different cosplays that we had. Got to meet up with all the Phantom folks yesterday, about, right after lunch in the convention, and about a dozen or more folks came out. Most of them in cosplay, which is great to see. So, yeah, that was really, really great. So it's always a pleasure catching up with you guys, seeing your work in person. I love that. Getting to catch up with like-minded people, right? We all have the same crazy hobby. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So I obviously don't get to do that very often. Way over there in the United States now. And I haven't been back to BroadwayCon in a while, so... but I think here especially definitely really embraces, the phan, PHAN culture. And of course getting to catch up with my Fananigans buddies too is always a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I love this weekend and I'm glad that I finally got to come back for it. I missed it last year, so. Oh, Tommy's got a whole list of notes on the performance last night. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I encourage everybody to go. So whenever they announce the convention next year, buy your tickets, make plans to go, just to keep it going. So what I hope doesn't happen is kind of what happened with BroadwayCon, where it started out and it was sort of this smallish, somewhat niche convention held in a hotel in New York, and then it blew up. It blew up and went down to Javits Center, which is the New York equivalent of the Excel, and was at the Javits for 2 years, and then it had to come back to the hotel because it was just too big. The convention center was way too big. And the convention itself kind of went big and then started to kind of, dwindle back down. So I hope that trend isn't going to be applying to MusicalCon. So it's just nice to at least have a space where you can kind of come together as a group, and celebrate your favorite musical, your favorite characters, your favorite, art forms, cosplay, anything like that. It's a wonderful space. So hopefully it'll keep going. And the timing of it has me thinking about next year too, because next year being the 40th anniversary, there's talk of, a bunch of us getting together on or around the anniversary. We don't know right now if they're going to have public tickets to the 40th anniversary. I would hope so. They probably will. It might be a lottery. We don't know yet. But at least be in town for the 40th and maybe get together with the group and do a cosplay night, or just save it for the convention if there's a convention next year. But yeah, just kind of be in town for a couple of weeks in and around October, celebrate the 40th of Phantom, and then hopefully roll right into MusicalCon. So fingers crossed. That's kind of the goal. Yeah. So come on over, Tex. It's a good time over here. Like I said, it's the correct side of the Atlantic right now. Speaking of 40th anniversary of Phantom, since that is coming up next year, what do you guys think are going to be some of the events that we see? Because Lloyd Webber's kind of hinted that there's going to be a series of different things relating to the 40th anniversary. They just announced Phantom Fest. We don't know what Phantom Fest is. We can make assumptions and some guesses. But right now, we know the South Korean production is going to get revived for a bit, which is great. And of course, we are wondering what's going to happen when it comes to the 40th come next October, in terms of what kind of celebrations are going to be had in and around London. Again, whether or not public tickets will be available to the 9th of October performance or not. Hopefully they will be. So I came over for the 30th back in 2016, so it would be nice to come back over for the 40th. And do some somewhat secret Phantom cosplay stuff with another Phantom cosplayer. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm good. I'm good with my cosplay, but he's looking to do some fabric shopping so he can also get a nice custom suit done up. So that'll be kind of a nice little side trek next year, hopefully, if the timing works out. We'll see. Delusional Wish is a European masquerade adaptation. Oh, the immersive production, do you mean? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how popular immersive stuff is over here. I didn't know if it was popular in New York. Apparently it is. But maybe if it does really well and there's an opportunity somewhere to do that, that could happen. I don't know that you're going to get like an immersive Phantom production in or around London with the London production open. So perhaps somewhere else, maybe if Masquerade does very well. We'll see. I kind of agree with Journey to Lair. I don't think you need an immersive production. You've got the London production that's doing fine. You've got the restaged one over in Vienna. You've got quite a bit of Phantom on this side. So, and again, it's such a niche. It's a niche kind of production. It requires a lot of, I think, additional work on the property. Where instead of like a traditional show where you load in the show or load out the show, that required a whole renovation of the entire building. So that's harder to do for sure, but who knows? Tex would like to see a lot more new merch come out. Maybe new recordings. I like those ideas, both of them. It would be nice to see. I'm not a huge merch person, but it would be kind of nice to see new stuff come out. So I haven't seen new shirts or anything really mind-blowing in the last few years. So it'd be kind of nice if they maybe update that. And new recordings would be very cool. And Phoenix had a good point. Maybe release the 1988 Pro Shot from New York. I would love to see that released. Realistically, I don't think that they will. So they haven't yet. And of course, you can go see it if you happen to be in New York. You can get the library card and go see it at the New York Public Library. But that's very different from having it in the comfort of your own home. So someday it would be nice to have that, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately, as much as we would like it. Right? And I haven't seen it yet. Someday, at some point, I will get up there and actually do that. But the folks that I know that have done it, they say it's a very high quality video, especially from being 1988. So rest assured, if it ever does get released, hopefully it's still a very high quality recording of that original Broadway cast starring Michael and Sarah. Someday. In the meantime, we'll just have to just plan that trip to New York someday. What do you think of the reasons for not releasing the recording of the Pro Shot? For the longest time, I think, especially when the show was open, the longest time it was just exclusivity of it. They just didn't want, and you know how that is. They're so controlling of the media image, and especially like, you know, this, and for the longest time, they just didn't want it out. Even though there are bootlegs galore, and it's very much out. I think it was just kind of controlling it for a little bit, and it has been available to the public for the last maybe 5 years. I haven't really been paying attention. For the longest time, the only way that you could actually see it is if you were a legitimate like university student or professional in the industry and you had a no kidding reason, and they would verify it. So it was very exclusive. Of course, they certainly relaxed it now, which is nice, but you still have to physically go to New York to actually see it. So I think, you know, if we ever get to a point where maybe we hit 50 years, if it's still going strong in 10 years, maybe that's something that they do. And that would be a huge milestone. So maybe that's a big thing that they could do, is release that Pro Shot. Seems like it's something that they would do on a 50th anniversary. But all to be seen. I have no idea. And of course, but you know the way they work. Not all of their decisions make sense. So, and how protective even now they are of the whole Phantom face, even though, again, it's been around now for 39 years. And it's played in 100, however many countries, and millions of people have seen it. It's not a secret anymore. But they still kind of treat it like one, so. I was going to say it's really useful group, but it's not called that anymore, so. LW Entertainment. It's lame. Yeah. Oh, some more favorites coming in. There's Pixie. Hello, guys. Yeah. If you're just catching up, it's end of day 2 of MusicalCon here in London. So before I get out of all of this and put it away for however many months, I have no idea when I'm getting back into cosplay. Again, I like to do it live and do some reels, content creation, and get as much as I possibly can out of the 4 hours of makeup. So, yeah. All of the friends went off to dinner tonight, and I'm like, I would love to join you, but I need to get this done. And thankfully I'll get to see some of them on Tuesday. So that's good. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Great catching up with everybody. The con is fine. Again, I encourage people to go to the con. The con it's a con. For me, I love coming over here and seeing all my friends and getting to have fun, just, being our weird little selves. It's just the best time. So thanks, Tex. You're just saying that there's a photo that Tommy took, and he thought that I was actually real in the. Yep, that's. I don't know if you were in the room when I was talking earlier. So we had several people at the not the Majestic. Holy cow! I'm tired. I've had maybe like 9 hours of sleep since Friday. Bear with me. I'm trying. At the theater last night, again, most of us in cosplay, and had just several people like during the interval saying, "Thank you for coming out and taking photos. You're so great. We love." I'm like, I'm not in the show. I'm so sorry. I'm not in the show. Even leaving the theater, and you exit out the side door that is just to the right of the stage door, and people asking me for photos, queuing up for photos, and just saying how everything was great in the show. I'm like, thanks. Again, not in the show. Also, Dean is like this much taller than me. So I appreciate the compliments that you think this looks legit enough. But yeah, he's also giant and I'm tiny. So there's that. Hilarious. And I went up to the lounge where the rose wall is in the piano, just kind of looking to see where some folks were. And went to turn around and leave, and there's like a queue in front of my face. Like, hey, can we get a photo with you? 30 people later, hey, sorry, gotta go to my seat in the auditorium because I'm not in the cast. Sorry. So sorry. Yeah. Scared somebody, by the way, going into the women's loo, as I do. Usually. So, have to announce, like, not a man! Sorry, not a man. My bad. Sorry to scare you. Not a big deal. It's always an adventure when I take this thing out in public. It's just, Yep. Well, thanks, guys, saying it looks super legit. I appreciate that. A lot of work has gone into this, and, this. AJ did this. This is me. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. I love going. Oh, that's cute. So Pixie went in her Christine cosplay, and I guess somebody actually asked her if she was on for Christine that night. Again, see, legit looking cosplays. Yeah, walk me through the logic on that one for the audience member asking you, why you're sitting in the audience dressed up if you were in the cast. But that's okay. Maybe they're not theater people. It's fine. I agree. So, granted, I mean, I'm somewhat average height, I guess, but like everybody's tall. Everybody's tall. I'm so jealous of being tall. Yeah, I'm this short little round thing. I would like to be tall and thin, but genetics don't really go that way for me. So, but yeah, jealous of all the tall people who look very great in suits. So, yeah. What else is on the minds of all you all tonight? Yeah, Pixie, sorry you couldn't come this year. I was hoping to see you and kind of meet you in person, but that's okay. There's always next year, and hopefully again, depending on timing and finances and the state of the world, a year from now, hopefully I'll get over here in and around the anniversary and or the convention and meet up then. So fingers crossed. But I hope you're okay. Hope everything's going well. But yeah, it's, the con's the con. Like I said before, it's kicking along. So, yeah, I mainly go just for the cosplay and hanging out with my friends, and that's pretty much it. So, if there happens to be, and there was some very interesting stuff. I got to sit in on a couple of different talks, and I think one panel, and that's kind of the extent of my con stuff, other than watching some main stage things, which was good. Oh, speaking of main stage, so Dixie, for those that weren't there, which I'm guessing is most of you, won the cosplay competition in her beautiful Star Princess dress. So, score 1 for the Fananigans. She did phenomenal on that. All of the finalists were incredible. So the competition was pretty stiff this year. But yeah, no, she crushed it. And so yay for Dixie. And also yay for Molly, again, if she's still in here, for making the finals and with her incredible recipe cosplay. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was a much more legitimate competition. It seemed like they had judges, they had scorecards. Aline was there, one of our Fananigans folks was there judging, as she has done in the past with other conventions. And also she works on different equity productions over in Amsterdam too. So, and they had, I think, another West End costume designer on there, a couple of actresses, and yeah, so they had a whole panel with an actual scoring system. So it was legit. So it was very, very cool to see that kind of growing and getting some traction, hopefully. So again, keep up the cosplays, guys. Keep going to the convention and get to see even more cool things being created. It's awesome. Loved it. So, yeah. Trying to think what else I can talk about that I haven't already covered. I could take the wig off. I don't know if I want to. I don't do enough lives with the wig on. So, yeah, so makeup was pretty good. It went better today than yesterday. Of course, yesterday's kind of the day that counts when it's going to the His Majesty's. But that's fine. I wasn't super happy with it yesterday, but it is what it is. I haven't actually done this makeup since, it's probably April, March, I don't know. And that was a different version of the Weber makeup, so there's that. I don't think I saw anybody else in Phantom makeup, but there were several other great Phantoms walking around, so that was nice to see. And yeah, so that's kind of it. I'm trying to think what else. No real cosplay plans from here. I do have, depending how bad the credit card bill is going to be when I get home, I do have a plan for a really nice Gaston Leroux makeup scheme. I found a really excellent prosthetic. It's just not cheap. So that is one that if I end up getting it, I'll be kind of working on that prosthetic to make sure I can actually reuse it, even though I hate reusing stuff. But at that price point, I'm going to have to get 3 or more uses out of it. But yeah, I think if I can pull that off, it's probably going to be the most accurate, Leroux accurate Phantom cosplay that I've seen, hopefully. There have been a couple done by professionals, but certainly for an amateur schmuck like me, it will be the best. So here's hoping, maybe a Christmas present to myself. Yes, so Phoenix, yeah, so the theater is now His Majesty's, not Her Majesty's, so that flipped after the coronation, and I think they waited a couple of months, but they did switch it. So that's updated. The lettering outside the front of the theater is updated. And I got a lithograph over from one of the vendors today that now has His Majesty's Theater on it. So Like in some way, it's very sad because I grew up knowing it as Her Majesty's Theater, and I sometimes still say that. But, you know, that's how it goes. So it's all officially His Majesty's. So, yeah, England has a king. Again, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Of course, we all grew up with, you know, the Queen. So there's that. But times, they are changing. So what other questions do you guys have? Feel free to shoot. The convention, Phantom stuff, anything. Good morning, Snifflebugs. Hello, welcome to the post MusicalCon live before I take all of this off and trash it. Looking forward to that time. Looking forward to sleeping in until about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. That was my plan. Yeah. Got about 5 hours sleep the first night, maybe 4 hours last night. It's been a struggle. So, and the makeup actually held on really great today. It's just now starting to get a little bit rough looking. So I'll let it, so once I'm done with this, I'm taking it off. So, but yeah, no, I actually held on pretty great today. And again, very happy with kind of how it turned out. And yeah, if we get totally bored, I can take the rest of the wig off and show you all the skull crater thing. How was the con? The con was good. Con was good. Smaller than I remember it from 2023. Yeah. So yeah, just interesting to see kind of like how it will trend over time and hopefully just keep going. So, have I heard that they're making a stage version of the Phantom of the Paradise? I haven't. Cool. Who? Where? When? Yeah, I haven't heard that. Those that know me probably know that I'm not a huge Paradise fan, but I do definitely appreciate the fact that it has a cult following, and I love that for them. So, the Swan character freaks me out. I can't get into it, but I do appreciate that people really love that film. So, but that is cool. I'm curious, again, who is doing it, where they're doing it, and whether or not that's going to prove to be kind of a popular thing. So I have concerns about it. The length of the run, unless they're planning on it just being a short thing. Oh, okay, so the guy that I'm afraid of is doing it. Cool. Cool. Yeah, he's the guy that freaked me out. So I don't just the way that he plays that character is creepy. But yeah, interesting. So that's the Phantom news. Of course, Masquerade is still doing its thing in New York. It opened officially a couple of weeks ago. Oh, the national tour. Let's talk about that. The national tour in the U.S. is starting on the 7th of November. It'll be launching in Baltimore, and I will be there opening night. It is playing for a week in Baltimore, and I will be there on closing night on the 15th as well. Very curious that this production is going to be moving along like that. They're doing a week here, maybe 2 weeks here, a week there. Their longest sit-down periods are out west in some of the Californian cities, and even then the sit-down is only for about a month and a half. Whereas the third national tour, aka the national tour for me, they would park for about a month at every stop, and then the longer sit-downs like Chicago, LA, Toronto would be maybe like 4 months. So it's just interesting to see the difference in the length of each run in each city. And it makes me wonder logistically how they're doing that. I'm guessing they're going to have 2 different sets that they used to have, where they kind of leapfrog one another. It takes a few days to get it loaded in and teched and everything like that. So by the time they move on to the next city, they're probably going to pack up the old one, flip that to the next city, and go from there and just kind of keep leapfrogging is how I'm guessing they're going to do it. But if you haven't seen the rehearsal footage yet from the new national tour cast, that was put out by Playbill, Official Broadway World. A bunch of folks had a media call for their open rehearsal, and you get a pretty good feel for how folks are gonna be in there and what they sound like, and I'm very excited. So very excited to see that it's going to be, again, the London model. So we're not doing the old restage nonsense. The current London model will be implemented for the new national tour. So that's nice to see. So those of you that are watching this now or in the future, just know it's basically, it's the Brilliant Original minus one or two things. You're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And the Pegasus is better than the Angel anyway, so it's fine. My opinion. I will die on that hill. I will die on it. So, but yeah, so I'm very excited that is launching. I'm excited to be there the first night of performances. That's a first for me. I don't think I've ever been there for the No Kidding opening night of any production. So that's very, very cool. But yeah, so that's the national tour news for the US. And I believe they're also going to Canada, so there's a North American tour. But I forgot how far ahead they've announced the dates. So if you're in and around the US or Canada, go on the website. They'll be updating those dates, I'm sure, as they come out. And hopefully they'll come to a city near you and you get to go see it. I'm thrilled for Isaiah. He sounds amazing in the role. Yeah, what can I say? It's just going to be great. Hi, Louise. That's my con buddy. What else is going on? Oh, the Paris stuff that I had originally been planning after this here in London, canceled, unfortunately. Just had that got canceled a week or two ago. Just life stuff for both of us kind of just getting in the way. And then unfortunately Flagbridge, of course, is not well and had to cancel her trip over here anyway. So that kind of worked out. So not going down to Paris on this trip. Will not be, you know, doing the world premiere of the new French original musical, which is not in any way related to Lloyd Webber. So that's kind of a bummer, but it'll just be interesting to see kind of what comes out of that as well. So again, if anybody's going to Paris in the next couple of weeks, please do fill us in on what is happening with that brand new world premiere production, what it's like, and what you think of it. So bummer I can't go, but that's okay. And then of course next time I'm over here, hopefully it's hop over to Paris, and maybe by then the Garnier will be done with the renovations and I can get some cosplay photos outside the building, because they don't like them inside the building. Can't possibly do that, but at least get some cosplay shots maybe on the stairs and kind of different spots around the building would be kind of nice to kind of round out my cosplay photo shoot stuff. Oh, look, all my folks are joining. Hi, Nola. Oh, are we gonna do a live together? Okay. Everybody hold on, because my Fananigans friends are wanting to be in this, so let's do it. Oh, it's not working. You're in the, I know, I figured, I'm like, you're in the restaurant, so that's okay. I hit the button, it didn't work. It is what it is. But yeah, all my girls are in the restaurant. Sorry, guys. On a good note, I've got all the content done. So when this is done, I'm going to go get out of makeup, have a giant plate of probably everything on the menu because I'm starving, and go from there. But yeah, love you, miss you. But again, that's why I love coming over here and doing the con. But I love catching up with my friends and just hanging out and being in that space and catching up, and it's just nice. So I love you too, Jay. Thank you. Oh, Helene's there. Yay. Hi, guys. Yeah, all my girls, all my sisters, my Fananigan sisters doing their thing. I miss you guys already. I know I want to see some of you in a couple of days. That's fine. But yeah, you know, this is the group. So thanks for the group hug, by the way. I need to. Yep. It was wonderful seeing you too. And thanks for being a great lady, and all of you. Just again, it's the most fun hanging out with you all. So it's nice coming over here and feeling like you belong with a group and you belong with friends, and it's so nice. So nice break from life, really. Yeah. So before I wrap up, I can, if there's any interest, I can remove the wig and I can put it over there. If y'all want to see the new prosthetic sculpt and the paint job on it, that's fine. Let me know. I'm going to hydrate a little bit. I am living off of, I think, some grapes, some apple slices, some peanuts, and apple juice. I think that's all I've had today. So I'm definitely ready for a meal. Starving. Absolutely starving. So I won't tap dance any longer. I think I'll just take this off if I can. Oh, wig is wigging today. There it goes. This asshole, by the way, was not playing nice yesterday at all. That's Valentino number 2, and that's pretty on brand for V2. It's either amazing or it's a jerk. And yesterday it was a jerk. So after the show last night, I had to come back here, take all of this off, and reset that entire wig. So wash it, reset it, style it, all of that stuff at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm glad that I did because today it was wonderful. Looks great. The wig wigged today. Didn't want to yesterday, but I did it today. So I'll take it. Yeah, so this is the new prosthetic sculpt I got from Darren at Studio D. So he kindly took on a custom project for me. I said, hey, I want the molds in my own possession so that I can pull prosthetic appliances whenever I need to, instead of constantly bugging him and trying to like project the projects for, future weeks or months out. So he did, and what I asked for was basically Crawford sculpt as a starting point, and just kind of scale this down slightly so it fit my face a little bit better. And same thing with Skull Crater, like scale that down slightly so it doesn't have like this big gap and doing all the weird full stuff that it was doing when the prosthetic was much larger on my head. And also add some different texture to it, because we're talking about the brain thing, right? That has gotten popular, the skull crater, okay, the exposed brain that we see in sculpts from maybe 15 years ago on. I hate that. He hates it. And so we both agreed to try something different. I said, dude, just make it gross. Make it gross and realistic. And what he went for was kind of this like skin ulcery. That's how I painted it anyway. So yeah, I think it's awesome. It's disgusting and I love it. People like walking around either or like making eye contact and then immediately turning away, or being like, yeah, this is amazing. And like, you like horror movies, don't you? You're my kind of person. Phoenix, good point. Yep, my streams being over here today, definitely a lot earlier for you. Not in the middle of the night for you. That's good. Next question was, did I paint all the pieces myself? I did, so I pulled these as well. So I laid the latex into the mold and just did that over the course of a couple days, pulled out several different sets and got them all painted up. And so did all that myself, and of course for the application too. So it's just much nicer having the molds in my possession so that I can just do phantom makeup whenever I feel like it. So, and I can play a little bit too with the molds and how I lay the latex in there and do the edges and everything like that. So I think maybe like yesterday why I struggled a little bit with edges, and is just because, new batch of latex, new molds that I'm not familiar with. Haven't done this makeup in 6 or 7 months, so that happens, and today was at least much better, so it is what it is. But yeah, so I wanted to show that off because that's gnarly, and I don't treat this like skull, I treat this like skin. So again, I don't think the dude would live very long if he had a big old hole in his, if this is all skull and all exposed, and of course if he had brain hanging out, he wouldn't live. So that's why I hate that sculpt, and I hate it when they paint it like that because it's just so obnoxious. But at least this is kind of like gnarly looking in a more realistic way. So I love it. I felt so bad walking around the con. I went down today without the mask or anything. I just like this final air version. And Lots of kids walking around the Excel today. Oops. Oh well, is what it is. How often do I do the makeup or redo the makeup to stay in practice? It depends on the year. So sometimes I'm in this, you know, half a dozen times, maybe 8 times throughout the year, which would be a lot for me, actually. Um, this year I've done it quite a bit with different variations of the makeups and the Chinese project and everything like that. So typically on an average year, I'd say I'm probably in makeup maybe 2 to 3 times a year. And it's mostly at cons. And if I haven't been to a con in a while, I might do a makeup run through the week before. But other than that, I'm not in it a lot. And that's why I tend to just stick with phantom makeup versus doing different projects or different characters or anything like that, because this is a known quantity to me. I know how to do it very well. And with the limited amount of time that I have to actually play with makeup and cosplay, I know that I can knock this out with no issues versus trying to, create something different. So yeah, so I'm not in makeup enough or in cosplay enough, and that's like why I'm doing a damn live at the end of a convention weekend, because again, I'm not in this often enough, and I want to make sure I always try to take advantage of it as much as possible. So there's that. But also I was kind of doing some, thinking, I guess. Again, I'm so tired. Words are escaping me. But kind of just reflecting on my career in cosplay, and I've never actually made a public appearance without the makeup. It's always been with the makeup. So the folks that kind of, go to the con and they're in the phantom costume with the mask, awesome. But for me, I've never actually done that in public. So I've always had the makeup. So it would be weird for me to do cosplay without it. And this is why I cosplay, is because of all of this stuff that I love. And yeah, but the problem for me is that it's a lot of time to prepare the makeup, pull prosthetics, paint them, apply them, style the wigs, all of this stuff that you have to do before you even get into cosplay. Yeah, it's a lot. So where folks, yourself, some others, you kind of get the costume, you do your makeup, you do your hair, your wig, and then you go maybe an hour-ish to prepare. It's a 3.5 to 4 hour makeup application, but there's another 6 hours probably of laying prosthetics, pulling them, painting them, packing them, the wig prep that goes into it. So there's probably a good 10 hours of makeup prep, application, removal, and cleanup for every time I have to get to cosplay. So that's why I just don't get to do it very often. It's a lot. So I'm envious, kind of the folks that can just throw on a costume and maybe do a quick makeup and leave. So jealous of that. So, oh well, this is what I've chosen. This is my thing that I've chosen, so here I am. To be fair, Phoenix, good point. It is spooky season, so I should be scaring people, right? Yeah, I found it so funny just walking through it like this in total public, just the middle of a very busy convention center. And granted, I'm sure the employees have probably seen way weirder, right? Like this is tame, I'm sure, compared to a lot of the shit that they've seen. But yeah, the poor, IT technology convention people probably were like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. I was grateful to see the Starlight Express cosplayers, because as you imagine, those are very involved cosplays and also kind of make this look tame. So, but yeah, I do enjoy being in the suit, try to take advantage of that. And yeah, so it was a good weekend. I'm glad I came over. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did the cosplay both days. I'm glad I did the con, all of it, and all those trips to His Majesty's and everything like that. So it was a very, very, very good weekend. And thankfully, one that I will remember forever. And I need to get to all of my media that I've taken. I've done almost no posting this weekend because of how busy it's been. So there's that. So expect, some video clips and photos and everything from the weekend. Be great. That was coming. Thank you, Louise. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I'm a big effects makeup nerd. So anytime I get to play with it, and anytime people, even if for a second think that it looks pretty decent, I'm pretty happy. So, oh, we got some more people. Hello, Flagbridge is here. Hello. Just at the end of the weekend and end of the live, and I don't even know what time it is. I'm gonna double check. It is okay. Yeah. So hope you're doing better. Hope life is good over there this weekend, and it's pretty good here. So yeah, con was quiet but good. Thank you so much, Phantasma. I appreciate that. Did we meet the Phantoms at His Majesty's? No, no. So I saw Dean all 3 times. I didn't bother stage dooring the first 2 nights, and then last night some of the group was stage dooring, and kind of Matthew and I and a couple other people were off talking with Connor, so didn't get to say hi to Dean or meet Dean, which is fine. I don't stage door much these days. Haven't in a while, actually. I think the last time I stage doored was probably MusicalCon 2023. Just to get a photo with James Gant with me like this, and that was the only thing. But no, I didn't do that this year. So, but that's okay. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. What food or dinner do I like when I'm in England? Just about anything. I'm not a big Indian food person, and that's very popular here, so I avoid those just because I'm weak with spices. Like, so it's pathetic. So, I love a good fish and chips, of course. That's pretty standard. Pub fare is great, but there are, of course, a lot of really great restaurants to just try to pop into. I'm not super picky on the food. And especially like tonight, I literally give me anything off the menu, and I will happily eat it because I'm starving right now. But hey, hey ho, that's con life for you. So, doing pretty well. It's just being off of fruit and nuts all day today. But yeah, I'm going to get a big old plate of something. I think there's maybe a sirloin steak in my future here tonight. So, room service. Which should I say like this when the room service shows up, or should I try to get out of makeup and be normal before I order? I don't know. It wouldn't be the first time I've ordered room service looking like this and had it delivered. I might have been at at a very fancy hotel on Park Lane when it happened, but hey ho. Yes, there's a food for service people. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward that also. I'm really hungry. I don't really want to wait until I get all of this off. I just want food. So I might have to just, stay in the getup. Because it would be really weird if I was just this, but also street clothes. So who knows? More fun things to do later. But yeah. That's kind of that, I guess. Covered the show stuff, covered the con stuff, covered kind of the makeup plans in the future. Any last questions or topics you all want to discuss before I jump off of this and go ruin some poor waiter's night? Any? If not, that's totally okay. I'm happy to go eat dinner and have my first meal of the day at 8 o'clock at night almost. So that'll do. Okay, it's looking fairly quiet. So I'll say my goodbyes. Of course, again, thank you all of you who have decided to tune in tonight. I really appreciate it. And there will be more streams, I'm sure. Phoenix, I caught your comment. No worries. Like I said, whenever I get into makeup, I'll probably do a stream of some kind. But at least for now, again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the questions and the curiosity and the support. And again, I love coming here and talking to the other Phantom cosplayers, talking to folks that just kind of pass by and say they follow me on Instagram or they see my stuff. People all over the world. And that just makes me feel really good about what I do. and how it's received by you guys and the support that you guys give me. So I can't say thank you enough for that. It's been a good 20 plus years of doing the Phantom on the Budget stuff, and it's just days like today and yesterday that make me feel grateful for the opportunity to do this with you all and for you all, and that, you know, there's an audience out there that is looking for this information and shares the community that we've kind of built. So again, thank you all so much. Love you guys. Love you so much. If you're at the con today, thank you for coming up and saying hi. Can't wait to hopefully be back here next year. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But yeah, no. And yes, I do want to come to Norway. I do. Someday. I don't know when. And it sucks being on the other side of the Atlantic right now. But yeah, so I want to visit all the places and see all the people. And yeah, what can I say? Again, thanks, guys. Love you guys. I will see you all soon. And yeah, take care. And of course, happy Halloween and happy spooky season. Thanks, guys.